Ladies and gentlemen, it's the spookiest time of year! I don't always have to talk about Christian content, do I? I don't think so. In fact, I'd rather not. It's not my favorite thing to talk about. I mean, it is in a way because it's so part of who I am, part of my childhood, but my parents weren't the type, like I was homeschooled, but my parents weren't the type to say like, you're not allowed to watch movies. Like we watched real movies, and I think that's what inspired me when I saw Christian content to say,
what is this? This isn't a real movie.
My parents introduced me to Star Wars, Disney movies. Aladdin's one of my favorite films of all time. Christmas Story, I've often said, is a movie that I love. Watched Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park and Back to the Future, The Princess Bride, all the classics. All the movies that we all love. In between all that, you've got movies that are nostalgic. One of the fun things about being married to somebody who grew up as a missionary kid overseas. There's some things that we both remember and we both watched. Bananas in Pajamas, for example, but it was in Spanish, so she sings the song.
Bananas en pijama, te quieren conocer.
That's not the lyrics to the song. Some of the fun parts of being married is introducing her to old stuff that I watched. Operation Dumbo Drop, The Mighty Ducks, The Big Green, Little Monsters, Little Giants, Cool Runnings. I guess I watched a lot of sports movies as a kid. All of these movies aren't great. So it's been funny going back and watching some of these old movies and saying, so honey, you gotta know that I watched this as a kid, so there's a nostalgic factor. You don't have to like this. This will not be good. You will not enjoy this. Well, one of those bad movies was the movie Hocus Pocus. Came out in 1993. That was like right on the edge of the types of movies that I was allowed to watch. I remember my dad being like,
this is stupid.
There's a part in it where it says a virgin lights a candle.
A virgin.
Virgin.
And I didn't know what that was. Of course, why would I? I wasn't Catholic. They talk about virgins all the time. So I asked. It seemed to be a major plot point in the movie.
And he's a virgin.
Remember my dad saying,
a virgin is somebody who hasn't slept with someone.
There's a part in the movie where the boy and the girl fall asleep together. I was thinking to myself, he's not a virgin anymore. Woo! I found out later that that's actually, a virgin is more than just not falling asleep with a girl around. But, these are just things that you learn. Life's a dance you learn as you go. Hocus Pocus was one of these movies that I knew wasn't great, and it's kind of become popular now. I've noticed this year. People are saying that they like it. Kind of the NPCs are like, well, I love this movie and always loved it. I like to call it the Napoleon Dynamite effect, where all the cheerleaders are like, look at my boobs and my vote for Pedro shirt. Because it was popular, because they were told you should like this movie by some skater boy rocking on MTV. And then the movie Nacho Libre came out, which is, in my opinion, a superior film. It's one of my favorite Christian movies. I mean, people liked it. I don't mean to act like I'm some sort of like elitist who's like, nobody even knows about this obscure movie called Nacho Libre. I think that movie is more likely liked by people who like indie films and quirky movies and stuff. Kind of the effect of something becoming super popular is that people who don't actually like it because it's popular. And so we've got that phenomenon with most cult classics where people are like, I am so quirky, we love Hocus Pocus. Which is, of course, followed up by the equally predictable nonconformist response, why do people even like this movie? This movie isn't even good. It isn't. It never was. I always thought it was a made-for-TV Disney movie, but after looking it up, I guess it did release in theaters, so I guess that does kind of add to the, expectation of a higher standard or something, but nobody ever thought the movie was good. All of that to say, I watched the movie recently with my wife, and she's like, actually, I think this movie, it doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense. Oh my goodness, I think you might be right. Then we get legacy movies. Apparently, Hocus Pocus has become so ironically watched by so many every year, they made a sequel with the original women, but not the original kids, which is also a little weird because the original women in the movie were the bad guys. I guess this is going to be like an origin story, even though the original movie begins with their origin story. This is more of an origin story, a morgin story, one might say. All of that to say, I'm going to watch the trailer and see what I think of it, see if it inspires some nostalgia in me. Thanks for listening as I ramble on about all of this. Let's check it out and see what we got here.
I banish thee from Salem!
The Sanderson sisters, their children. Look at the CGI animals.
Fear thee. Magic has a way of uniting
Happy 16th birthday, child.
Oh, yes. The lady from Ted Lasso flies down and gives them a book or something. 370 years later.
I have a gift for my favorite customers.
Salem Magic Shop.
Legend has it,
It's a cat.
on the
Is that
16th
Binksy?
birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Binks? A virgin.
Lock up your children! Yes, Salem, we're back!
They're back! Okay, so right off the bat, there's some issues here. There's some issues. Yes, I'm quirky and I like the original. Of course there's issues with the original movie. Why don't the kids subject to the dancing when their parents are forced to dance all night? During the one and only song and dance number in the movie for some reason. How come Binks at the end of the movie whispers in the girl's ear that says, "I'll always be with you"?
Always be with you.
Like a weird creepo. All that stuff's odd to me. How come the guys make fun of Max for being from California when they act more like surfer dudes than Max does? Ever wonder that? I will say, despite all the plot holes in the original movie, this seems to have plot holes in its connection to the original movie because the sisters blew up at the end of the movie, didn't they? Now, of course, magic can bring anything back, but they blew up. The cat became a super 90s ghost and walked through the gates of heaven or something. None of this should be happening. The black flame candle was already lit by a virgin.
A virgin lit the candle.
Where did you get that candle? We have to get out of here. The witches will be here any second. Ah! The book is alive.
He woke up?
She did the thing from the other thing. She did the thing from the other thing. Yeah.
We have to steal their soul.
Can we talk about this?
No. We must fly!
It's great because they don't have to put on the old people makeup. What they should have done is just gone back and refilmed this scene from the beginning of the original movie. She was on a vacuum in the other one, now she's on a Roomba. So, same joke from before, cool.
Very bad for Salem.
I appreciate because it was just white kids in the last movie, which was disgusting and made me want to vomit. So they got some more representation. Obviously, they're not going to put a female with actual dark skin, but they'll put, you know, somebody who's an extremely light-skinned African American, so we can all relate.
We should get some salt.
Why? So we taste better when they eat us?
Well, she just got assaulted.
Spread out.
Okay, already I see a problem here. Funny joke, hilarious. Sarah Jessica Parker, you've still got it. Yes, that's something that her character would do. But the fat one acts like she's annoyed with Sarah Jessica Parker doing this. But Sarah Jessica Parker and the fat one were stupid in the original one, and they both would have acted this way. She would have gone, "Woody, why do you want us to spread out?" Like that. Oh, this movie came out yesterday as of filming this. So I could go watch it right now.
Stop! I am a good zombie!
Haha, same joke from the other movie. This is a cash grab, a nostalgia grab. For who, though? 35-year-olds who remember watching this movie as a kid? If it's a cult classic, then maybe that takes like 5 years for people to pretend that they are fans of this movie. So there you go. That's the movie. Happy Halloween, everyone. Looks great. You know what? This looks fantastic. We got better cameras now. It's cool that they got all these actresses back. I'm glad that the fat one has slimmed down. Good for her. She looks better than ever before. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with anything, ever. Enjoy what you love. Love what you enjoy. Have your guilty pleasures, don't hurt anybody, and don't take people's stuff, and watch the media that you like, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for it. Especially me, because when I talk about movies, I'm giving my opinion. And my opinion is this looks pretty crap. And I'm gonna watch it, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode of Say Goodnight Kevin. If you did, share my video, hit the like button, hit the bell button, so you know when I do actually release videos, you'll know about it. All right, well, keep in touch. Stay in touch with me. Call me, call me on, sidekick page me, if you will. And I'll be there, or I'll be square. Talk to you guys soon. Good night.
Had a great reputation, but I ruined it. Homeschooled in them out, grew the fit. Might be just a Carolina kid, but I gotta throw it. Not a farmer, I ain't shoveling nobody's bullshit.
And like what you want. There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. That's my motto. I mean, other than like the pleasures I should feel guilty about because they're sinful and evil and awful. But outside of that, my guilty pleasure is skinning baby chickens and covering myself in their flesh. Sorry, guilty as charged. Just a guilty pleasure. Sorry about it. I'm quirky like that. Guilty pleasures.